This is the brief on the metric tensor in non-orthogonal space. Alright, so when we're working in physics or geometry, we usually picture things on a simple perpendicular grid, right? Kind of like graph paper. But a lot of the time, our coordinate systems are actually skewed or twisted. So how do you measure distances accurately then? Well, that's exactly what the metric tensor is for. You can think of it as a universal translator that makes sure our measurements work even in these messy, non-orthogonal spaces. First, the metric tensor is basically a correction factor. It's the key piece of math that guarantees something really profound called general coordinate invariance. And all that means is that the true physical distance you're measuring never ever changes. It doesn't matter how contorted your coordinate system gets. Second, so how does it pull this off? Well, the tensor's individual components are kind of like the DNA of the local geometry. They map out precisely where the grid lines are skewed and where they're stretched. Specifically, it's the off-diagonal and non-unit terms that do the heavy lifting, providing the exact compensation needed to get you back to the true non-skewed Euclidean length. Finally, these skewed systems are built using reference lines, basis vectors, that are just independent, not necessarily perpendicular. So the last step is simply applying the tensor's components to these non-perpendicular measurements. And that lets us write down a general formula for the length of any curve, even in a really bizarrely mapped space. Ultimately, the metric tensor is the powerhouse that ensures physical reality is always consistent and measurable, no matter how we choose to draw the map.